I'll start by creating a project. And I'm gonna call it the socket project. Gonna do next and finish. So next I'm gonna go ahead and create a client class, and it's gonna have a main method. And also I'm gonna create a server class, and also it's gonna have a main method. And the server thread class, it's gonna extend the thread, and I'm gonna do finish. So here I'm gonna have a run server method where I'm gonna be implementing the server functionality. All what I'm gonna be doing from main is to instantiate this server class and call the run server method on it, where the server functionality is gonna be implemented. Let me also define this port. This is where the server is gonna be listening. So here I'm gonna instantiate a server socket that is gonna be listening on this port 4444. And then I'm gonna go ahead and print a statement saying server up and ready for connections on this port. So the server is gonna be listening for connections made on this port and accept them with the accept method. So after that I need to start a thread and pass it this socket instance in order to handle communications with that client that made the connection. So let me go here at server thread, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a socket, reference to a socket, and I'm gonna have a constructor that takes in that socket and initialize it. And now in the server I can go ahead and instantiate a server thread passing in the socket, this socket that I have just called the accept method on, and then call the start method on that thread. And now in the server thread I need a run method that the operating system is gonna run when it decides to execute this thread. And also let me do this here. I'm gonna put these two statements in a while loop. So that it can accept different connections from different clients. Now coming back to the server thread in the run method, I'm gonna use the socket that was passed in here, this socket. Gonna use it to call the get input stream on it to pick up what's coming from the client, and then use this so this input stream to instantiate an input stream reader, and then use that to instantiate a buffered reader. And then I can do pick up the message, so buffered reader dot read line, and it needs to keep reading while the client is sending messages. So I'm gonna put it in a while loop, and I'm gonna move the message definition up here. So while there is messages, go ahead and read them and print them out. So system.out.println, printing out the message that I picked up here. And after that, I'm gonna go ahead and close the socket. And let me save all. And since I have pretty much the code for the server, let me go ahead and try the server first, and then I'll come back and write the client code. So here I already went to where the classes are gonna be. They're gonna be in the bin directory of that socket project. So I'm gonna do Java and server, the name of this guy, server. So here we go. So the server is up and ready for connections. So next, let me go to the main method of the client, and first I'm gonna instantiate a socket that's gonna be sending messages to localhost and port this port 4444. And also, so the client is gonna need to provide their name so that we can keep track of different clients connecting to the server. So this is the arg0 is gonna be the name for that client. And next, I'm gonna use the socket to call get output stream on it in order to be able to send messages to the server, and then use that to instantiate a print writer. And I need to be able to read what the client is providing in the command prompt. So this from system.in, so I'm gonna use it to instantiate an input stream reader, and then use that to instantiate a buffered reader. And go ahead and use that buffered reader in order to read the user's input and send it to the server while adding the name to it. right? The name of the client. So the name and then the reader input, whatever the input was from this client. And let me also put this inside a while loop so that the client can keep sending messages to the server after making the connection. So buffered reader.read line and then send the message with the name appended to it. So let me go ahead and save all. So this is the server is still listening, and this is gonna be one of the clients. So I'm gonna do Java and client and user1. And here we go. So incoming message from user1, and let's see, and same thing. Now let me start another client. And this is gonna be Java client and user2. And then let's send a message. So incoming message from user2. And same thing, user2. Let's see user1 if it still can send messages. And here we go.